Hello, my name is Diana Ruth Briscoe with Bridges.Academy, and today I am here to introduce you to Alexa LittleStar. Alexa LittleStar is a multifaceted artist and healer who has created Archetypal You, and that is a workshop where you connect and discover and work with your archetypes. And I first met Alexa in training for hypnotherapy students, and I was blown away by her trance work, and I was really inspired. So it's a real pleasure to meet with you today to know more about what you are assisting us in learning more about with these archetypes. So could you let us know about this archetypal
Yes.
work?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about this because it's this project I've been working on for a long time. The project is archetypes. So it's like a life's project, I want to say. But in the very beginning of me getting introduced to what archetypes are, how they work, what it means, um, I was inspired to take a picture series of a young lady that I've known. She's a daughter of a very good friend of mine, beautiful woman. And she was in her early 20s just discovering some of these things. And I felt like, wow, this is a good opportunity to walk somebody through these archetypes and create a set of cards. Just like I was going to do the tarot cards, that's a lot more. So I started with the archetypes. And so I picked 12 archetypes that have been mentioned in the mainstream, I want to say, that people might have heard about. Everything from the mother to the wild woman to the priestess to the warrior. We're becoming more and more, I want to say, exposed to these archetypes. And so I took pictures of her, all of the archetypes, as I walked her through the feeling of what this archetype would feel like in her body, how this archetype would sound like through her voice, and what kind of action this archetype would perform to be visible, to become like a actual thing. And it's much like theater play and perfect for the inner children, basically to be able to play and also do deep work at the same time. So if we can combine the inner child with doing deep work like this, it's a perfect tandem for this. So these cards came about, there's 12 of them. And with each card came a channeled poem, I want to say. This gives you a little bit of an idea of who I am and how I create. I never know what's going to happen until it happens. So after creating these cards and sitting in Photoshop to make the images happen, while I'm working on the image, I'm getting information about some kind of poetry. So I'm taking my pen and I'm writing this down. And so with every archetypal character, I want to say, all 12 of them, comes a prose, a little bit of poetry that kind of makes resonance in your body about this archetype. And so you get that also when you have the cards. You can read along, and over time you'll remember this, and you won't have to read anymore. You will just pick a card and feel it. It's like a practice. Does that make sense?
Yes, I
Yes,
love
yes. And there is, of course, a blank card in the deck, just like there's a blank rune in the rune deck and other divinations, or there's a joker in the card deck. I slipped a blank card in there, which kind of ups the creativity of whoever picks the blank card. You see just a big black space that almost looks like a scrying mirror, something to look into to get some kind of reflection. And you can be prompted to have a whole different set of thoughts about the non-existing archetype on the card. And that sparks a whole nother. And we're going to be playing with this in this class, with the unknown.
this is exciting. So it seems that people will be able to feel it, the archetypes, and then be able to express it, which would ground it into
Yes.
their
Yes, it
yeah.
would ground it in. So it's an embodiment experience. And even if we don't express it to the class and in sharing, which I never put anybody under pressure to go, you must perform. This is not what this is. There's no performance. It's just a receiving. Every person will pick a card I will pick a card for them and make my notes. And we will walk through all the prose that was picked. And then we will go on a beautiful trance journey into the world of this particular archetype. So everyone will have a unique experience. We won't have the same experience. We never do. And that's after we have this experience, we'll talk about it a little bit to see what popped up and what archetype was really felt the most and what the messages were. And this is when people, when it really hits home for people, when they come back from this journey, they're like, wow, I really saw them. I saw them and what they would look like, or I felt what they were feeling, and I got a message from them. So this is what's unique to the trance journey, which, because it's an intuitive container, I never know what that's going to be, but it seems to be always synchronous somehow with what's needed in the room, which is what makes it so magical. And that's why we said this game and this class has magical consequences for your
like
whole
that.
inspiration, for your whole creativity, basically.
Oh, this is perfect. This is really exciting, and it
Yeah,
just
I'm excited.
seems so healing and soothing, and to have people really be able to take that in their body and merge, and the artwork really conveys like so much of these archetypes. What would you say if there was one thing that was the most fascinating or exciting outcome that someone might have had that, well,
Yes, yes, I hear you. I hear you. I would say, first of all, the way I have these events, it's always in terms of a circle. So there's the beginning and there's an end, and it's a circle experience, which is really bonding. It's a really beautiful place to feel, even if we don't have exchange much, it feels really connected. You feel really grounded and connected into whoever shows up in the class, which in this day and age is one of the most important reasons to have a circle, is to get people together and to connect in some kind of a common heart space. So I would say usually after circles, no matter what the content is, people feel seen, loved, heard, and just they just feel the embrace of the circle. And I think that good feeling gets anchored in through the content of the workshop. And so if you can take that with you, if you picked up one or two archetypes, and if you can go into your life every day and go, there's the mother archetype, or oh my God, I need the wild woman right now. Oh God, I wish I had I need to engage the warrior right now. I need the warrior. So that you can pull this like a magician, like pull it from your space into your body and use it like an avatar, kind of like that. Does that make sense?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Possibilities, lots of possibilities with that. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I'm hoping that I'm I'm planning on attending. So I'm just gonna um make sure that I need to register and
Yes.
get going, and
Mhm.
I'll work on that today, and I'm really excited, and
Me too.
so
I'm
I
totally
think
excited.
it seems so juicy, and I just
That's
feel
what
like
it is. You nailed it. It's juicy. Even the computer is like, yes,
oh my, I said
awesome.
juicy, and then the phone like yeah. Yeah, I could feel like this like activation.
Wonder what
Wow,
archetype that was.
I
Your inner
know.
child is like, yay.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
I'm really
Yes,
excited.
I
Oh,
am
and
too.
can you let us know your website again?
It's moondoings.com. However, it's under construction for another week, but it will be live by the time the workshop happens. Unfortunately, that's unfortunate, but I'm not stressing about it. It's going to be ready. So there is a lot of information. Pat has to put together a beautiful page on Bridges. People can almost get all the information. And it has my email. If anybody has any personal questions or concerns, you can write me an email. That's totally fine. And the website will be ready by the time we see each other in the classroom or in the
Oh,
circle.
good. Well, thank you.
Thank you
And
so much for having me this morning.
you're welcome. Thank you.
And I will see you in class.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.